What's good, YouTube? So look what I have here. I got a wand I just carved out. Here's where the handle's gonna go. Here's the point of it. Now this particular wand I'm working on is for Ozzy Osbourne himself. I whittled it out of a stick about, I think yesterday I did it, yeah, before I went over to my friend's house. And yeah, this thing turned out exceptionally well. This thing is super pointy, as you can kind of see. Right about there, I accidentally poked myself with it. And then I got a little bit of a blood blister, or not really a blood blister, excuse me, but just a blister from sanding it. Because every wand that I make is handcrafted, you see what I'm saying? Or right after I put the handle on, I want to take my wood engraver and do an O, a Z, and a Y on the wand itself. But I want to paint it, give it a handle, and then engrave it with his name, and then try to send it to him. Yep. This wand turned out pretty cool, actually. Still gotta send off J.K. Rowling's wand before I do anything else. And that won't take too terribly long. I got that sitting up there nice and safe until I can send it off. But I'll use U.S. Postal to send off my wands because they are legit. They are 100% legit. I think the difficult part about making wands, you know what I'm saying, is just finding the wood for them. You know, I mean, you look at the stick that I found here. It's a nice solid stick and there's no cracks in the wood. You know what I'm saying? And you can kind of see the original color of the bark right there. But I got it all nice and sanded. The point is super sharp, so this wand's got a nice balance to it. Well, every wand I craft has a nice balance to it, you know what I'm saying, YouTube? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Now, here's the thing, YouTube. I want to put this wand back up in a safe place until I can finish it. Alright. Some people on YouTube have this weird obsession with me. I'm going to get back to you on that. And what really pisses me off is when people create fake accounts on social media pretending to be me. They've done it to me on Twitter, they've done it to me on YouTube, and I'm sick of it. And when I tried reporting the fake Twitter account to Twitter, they didn't really do jack shit about it. So I was like, what the fuck? You follow me on Twitter at Gothic King Cobra, but the A at the end of the Cobra is a 4 instead of an A. And it's got a picture of me. So it's Gothic King Cobra 4. Yeah. But the 4 kind of looks like an A, so that's why I did it, you know. I must be making some kind of impact on YouTube, otherwise people wouldn't try so goddamn hard to fuck with me. And I found the idiot who was trying to impersonate me on YouTube. I blocked him from my channel, and then I straight up one person commented, "What happened to your Paul Sr. video? It had some of your best guitar playing lately. Good job." Oh, that was a comment on my other video. Well, I saw a thing on Facebook that said Paul Sr. had passed away, and I deleted it because he hadn't died yet. You know what I'm saying? It was a fake article. "What happened to your Paul Sr. video? I had some of the best guitar playing lately. Good job working on your A minor pentatonics." Well, thank you. And like I said, this was a comment on my last video. I deleted it because the rumors on Facebook were not true. It was a hoax. And I felt stupid for getting emotional over a fake story. You know what I'm saying? Zach Smith asked if his brother John could get a shout out. Most definitely. So a shout out to Zach Smith and his brother John. It's his birthday. So happy birthday to Zach Smith's brother John. What's the going rate? See, I don't charge people to do a shout out, if that makes any sense. Well, thank you. One person commented, "My man Estevan put me on your vids. I really enjoy the advice you provide." Thanks, man. You know, when you get Lord Cobra, do you believe in God, evolution, mythology, etc.? Well, yeah. That's a good question. I'll get into that for another video, but what I was just going to say was, you know, when you get a slew of people impersonating you on YouTube or on Twitter and other forms of social media, pretending to be you, you know, it's one thing, you know, if it's a fan page, you know what I'm saying, I'm cool with that, you know. But I've had people straight up pretend to be me, and I'm like, nah, B, that's not okay. And, you know, while the video I just made was uploading, I finished watching that Dame Drops video. And, you know, there definitely was food for thought. Actually, Lord Cobra, what do you believe in? God, evolution, mythology, etc.? Well, that's a good question. I believe in the power of creativity. The power of creativity has two forces behind it: the creation and the destruction of that creation. And this is what I believe is this centrifugal force that binds life to itself. Case in point, I'll give you the most basic example I can think of. You're drinking some coffee, and you were thirsty, you wanted some caffeine, so you put the forces behind creating that pot of coffee, okay? And that creation of that coffee is the destruction of your thirst and your quench for that caffeine fix, right? But then, hypothetical, let's say while you're drinking that coffee, you spill it, okay? So then again, you just created a mess. So in order to destroy that mess, you clean it up, okay? And that kind of back and forth, to me, I believe that exists in everything, YouTube. People feel the need to find spiritual guidance in their life, so they create these stories like the ones in the Bible and what have you. The only thing that cannot be created or destroyed itself is energy. Energy is everywhere. Energy and magic is in everything. Now, if you cannot create energy or destroy it, where does it go? You know, it floats around in the air, basically. It gets thrown into the cosmos, into the great universe and back, at the speed of not even less than half a second. Like, wait, let's in the blink of an eye, basically. So what's going to happen then if you cannot destroy energy or make it? What's going to happen then if the sun explodes billions of years from now? We might plunge into another ice age for a couple years, but then eventually, eventually the earth will explode from not having a consistent nutrient. Unless humans have developed technology to sustain life after the sun explodes. Which, when the sun explodes, it won't be for a super, super long ass time. I, myself, will be dead and gone way before the sun explodes. Okay? So, what then if the earth explodes? All the energy, all that creative and destructive force that is existing on our planet. You know what I'm saying? And scientists think that the Big Bang, so to speak, created the Earth. Well, what if the Big Bang already happened, but that Big Bang was Mother Earth already exploding in a past life, and that we as humans right now are the creation of that energy that could not be destroyed in that great explosion? That is something to think about. Think of it as a VCR. You stick a tape into your VCR, you watch it, and you watch the whole movie play through, okay? Well, now, metaphorically speaking, if you would, picture that explosion, metaphorically speaking, like leaving the TV on and watching the movie go backwards. And you're watching it, so everything that has happened will happen again. Everything that hasn't happened will happen. That is what they would call destiny, fate, if you want to call it that. Case in point, when you think of things like reincarnation, for instance, there have been several humans who have visited certain parts of the world, and when they do visit certain parts of the world, they have this sort of deja vu feeling, like they've been there before, but they can't explain where exactly it came from. So I don't necessarily believe in Sky God. Rather, I believe that I see myself as a god. I practice magic. I believe in the power of thought and the power of creativity. And like I said, the power of creativity comes with two forces. The main part of that would be the power of creation, and the second half of that would be the power of destruction. Now, the power of destruction and the power of creativity are basically the yin and the yang of each other, if that makes any sense. Now, when humans become lonely, or they feel like they have to find a place to belong, that's how a church gets created, if you think about it. I mean, these Christians who worship Jesus Christ, like, what the fuck? How did the King of Jews, some short, curly-haired motherfucker, become this long, hippie-haired freak that the Christians call Jesus? It makes no goddamn sense. The second thing I want you to think about is, if you're being told that God is the creator of everything, question that. If God is against sin, then why the fuck would God create it? It makes no goddamn sense, does it? Now, when I say goddamn, I mean goddamn the Catholic Christian sky god. Yeah. Now, some of you out there might say, oh, you're stupid for your belief systems. To which I say, what do you believe in? Oh, the King of Jews rose from the dead to save you from your sins. And you want to call me stupid? Fuck you. Did you know that Jesus Christ had the best hands for masturbation? You know, his holiness? Is that what they meant by his second coming? Buzzing. Yeah, I like this pipe tobacco that I got. This sweet smelling aromatic-y stuff that I ordered from Pipes and Cigars. This is really good. Really good stuff. But yeah, going back to what I was saying at the beginning of the video, people's weird obsession with me. You know, some people have an almost unhealthy obsession with me, which, you know, I don't mind it too much. But then if it gets past a certain point, you know what I'm saying, that's when I start to go, well, it is a small price to pay for fame. Another example of the creative and destructive forces. You have a pencil and you have a paper, and you're told you have to write an essay for school. So you're sitting there jotting down your essay, and you mess up on a word. So you have to erase that word and respell it. That right there is just another basic example of the destructive and creative forces that coexist with us throughout each and every individual lifetime. So when this person asked me, what do you believe in? I pretty much answered it. I believe in the power of magic and practice and the destructive and creative forces of life. For even after life and in death, the destructive and creative forces still exist. Case in point, somebody's death was created. So now the destruction of their body as it's being decomposed into the ground or cremated, so that it can create nutrients for the soil and give life to something completely different. You know the old expression, pushing up daisies. Another basic example of these forces that are parallel to each other is if you study the life of a caterpillar. And how eventually a caterpillar becomes a butterfly. You see how it creates the cocoon so it can be destroyed when it comes out as a butterfly. Destructive and creative forces. God damn it. I dropped the pipe tool. Now, that right there is another example. I wanted to smoke some nicotine, so I fetched my pipe and created a bowl of tobacco. And now the destruction by burning it and the creating of smoke. Energy is in everything you do. It's like I said, Energy is in my pipe, it's in my lighter, it's in my pipe tool, it's in my pants, it's in my chair, it's in my bed, it's in my guitar. Now the destruction of this tobacco in my pipe, so it can create a wonderful aromatic scent. I love the smell of this pipe tobacco that I got. This is really good stuff. And it goes without saying, if you're smoking a pipe, might as well wear your slippers to go with it. But as I've said before, energy, it coexists with the destructive and creative forces that bind life and matter. From something as simple as a molecule to something a bit more complex, like the human mind, for instance. I'm chuckling at the comment someone had made on my last video, which I deleted it. I'm not even going to mention it. It was funny though. And that's really how people on YouTube get discovered. It's kind of a word of mouth sort of thing, you know what I'm saying? One or two people might watch your videos and then they tell their friends, hey, you gotta check this dude out on YouTube, he's pretty legit. And then their friends tell their friends, and then it's just snowball effect. But I must confess that humans do not fully understand the power of their own mind. The human mind is by far the most powerful tool that we have existing in our bodies. The human mind is as vast as the universe itself, if not bigger, and yet somehow it manages to be compacted into a simple skull of someone's head. Let's see. Now, despite the nicks on my fingers, I don't think it's really affected my guitar playing that much. Oh. So, I guess you can see yeah, I'm still being careful when I play the guitar, especially when I'm fretting with these fingers right here. But for the most part, it really hasn't affected my guitar playing that much. Anyways, this is KingCobraJFS with another video. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you all later.